there is a lot of great content that you've put on YouTube. What's the difference between those and what people might see in the program?
The YouTube videos are basically, you know, we shoot those at an awesome field. Everybody, I actually had one comment, just as a quick side note. Somebody was like, "That's a fake background," because it's like the mountains in California, and I'm like, I don't think I have enough time to like do a green screen. But the YouTube videos, we do those because there are specific things that we want to teach people, whether it's the top, you know, if you YouTube soccer drills, we would come up first. And it's just slews of people that want to go through and learn some good stuff. And the videos on YouTube are horrendous, you know. So we want to teach specific things, but the difference with the course is, you know, I could tell you, hey, do these 5 drills. Or I could say, we're going to go through these 5 drills, and you're going to eventually learn how to like trap a ball and turn and shoot on goal quickly. You know, I guess you could probably, one of the best examples is I could give you a textbook that's just in complete disarray, not in order. You know, like erase the page numbers and put like the conclusion where the intro is and the second chapter where the 8th chapter is, and you're really not going to make sense of it. So the YouTube is just it's free stuff. There it is. It's gonna get you somewhat better just by understanding it. Yeah. But if you want to get, if you want to skyrocket how you play soccer and really reach that next echelon, that next goal that you have, you need a specific method, because otherwise you're just going to be going through the motions. Yeah. You know, so we try and teach. You know, I try and teach with Epic Soccer a specific set of target goals that you're doing, whether you realize them or not. But they're tried and tested, like I said, with people all over the world, and they helped me to go from a non-starter average player to you know, All-American and you know, few short seasons. So I would say it's definitely a methodical approach, and there's a science behind it. So it's you know, helping people out.
Yeah, no, I mean, the way I've sort of looked at it is really much around a training system, and I think that was sort of the big difference to me with the YouTube content. I mean, you're absolutely right. It's great content, but they're all sort of individual skills. Whereas with the actual Epic Soccer training program, it is more of a system. So it's that full end-to-end, you know, as you said, A to Z sort of program, which, you know, I think that's the big difference between the two lots of content. So do you want to just provide for people that may not have seen the program, provide an outline of what's involved in Epic Soccer training?
Yeah, so when you purchase Epic Soccer, probably through your website, you know, you're going to end up getting to the members area, and everything is all online. It's streaming high quality videos. Yep. So you log in, and there's the manual, and it takes you through 4 weeks of training. And I believe it's like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah. Just in case people are taking the speed training program as well. You know, we kind of scatter that out. But, you know, if you want, you can do it 5 days. And basically, you're starting out, and obviously, I'm big on warming up. You always need to warm up and get more flexible, because flexibility increases your speed, and there's a whole science behind that. But you go through and you start doing dynamic drills and dynamic touches. A lot of things that coaches unfortunately overlook is every kid should have a ball, you know, and so when I get coaches that are taking Epic Soccer training, I love it, because they're like, oh, this is great. The kids aren't standing around, they're engaged, and they're improving so much. And it's basically getting thousands of touches on the ball very, very quickly. It's stuff that people do, you know, when they're in middle school, or when they're like I was when I was 4 years old, first starting out, to people who literally are playing professional soccer. If you ever go watch practices by anybody in the English Premier League or the MLS, you'll see that actually these are a lot of their warm-ups, and they go through and they do these touches because they're retracking their muscle memory, so that when they're in a game situation, you know, they're warm, they're ready. So we take you through a lot of that, and then obviously the course progresses. So it starts at a basic level, which we call the module the rock, and that's giving yourself a good foundation for learning to play soccer. So whether or not you're more advanced, you're going to go through these drills no matter what. And then the second one, I think, is the cup, where, you know, we start, like, you know, stirring in more and more difficult things that you can build on. So like I said, like everything, it's all step by step. You need the good foundation, and then we're going to take it to the next level in the second week. where you start adding in a little bit of moves. They're more basic moves, but they're going to really start progressing in the third and fourth module. The third module is pretty heavy with soccer moves, and this is where people start really seeing results.
Yeah.
And it's because they see all these moves that are like, oh, these are so awesome. Like, I wanted to learn moves, but you can't just start out doing the moves. You know, you don't start like playing guitar and doing a Metallica solo. You learn the chords, and then you learn, you know, the fingering and how to do it faster, and then you play. You know, it's the same thing with soccer.
It's a great analogy, actually, because you do need to really start with those basics in order to be able to do the
and a lot of times people need to unlearn bad habits, which we teach, and so you know, we teach you all the good habits, and I do, you know, hopefully a pretty great job at explaining these. You know, I'd rather over-explain than under-explain anything in the course. So you build your foundation, you start working on moves. The third week is when you really see a lot of different moves, and you really kick it up another notch. I'd say that's where you see the biggest improvement, is between just the second and third week. And then the fourth module, that's the vault. I'm not going to go too much into that because that's the bonus module that most people are like, oh, this is sick. You know, it's all the moves that you'll see from professional athletes, and some that you probably haven't even seen, that I got just from playing professional, playing with a bunch of these guys. And that's where it's really exciting, because people write in, they write emails to me, and they're like, dude, where did you come up with this stuff? Like, it is wild. And, you know, so it gets to where it's a lot of fun too. No matter what age, you know, we can kind of teach you just the A to Z, and, you know, fun stuff along the way, which makes it a lot better.
That's excellent. So I think the other good thing is that because it is structured in a system, it's flexible enough as well that you know, people that might be sort of very early on in their sort of soccer sort of skills, they can take it a bit slower, if you like, and then for people that might be a bit more advanced, they can also fast track stuff. So there's flexibility within the program that caters for that.
Right. You know, there's no specific one size fits all for the program. Some people are going to be down here, and other people are going to be more advanced, and they can kind of just, you know, breeze through the first 2 weeks pretty quickly, and then just start getting into week 3 and 4. And then there's also the classroom sessions that go along with all the modules. So, you know, when you first start out, it might be talking about just control, 50-50 balls, or supporting, you know, all the real basic stuff. But then when you get into like module 4, you know, which is the vault, or module 3, you're going to get really higher classroom sessions for your IQ, where you need to know, you know, how are we supposed to attack out of the back? If I'm a defender, you know, where should I be positioned? You know, so those videos are worth their weight in gold. You know, they're like 20, 30 minutes, some of them, and those are the ones where the coaches are like, I'm so glad that I did this. But it's everything that I learned with all my amazing coaches. So that's the one thing that I really wanted to throw in there, and that's the thing I'm going to be throwing in. And I'm going to be doing more of them. So just
fantastic. No, they're great.